Hello everyone. So I'm Shilpa B. Let us go for the topic heap sort today. So firstly we will see a second look at sorting in memory. We have already studied in the previous module the problem of sorting a disk file that is small enough to fit in the memory, right? So what is that? It includes three different steps. Read the entire file from the disk into memory, sort the records using internal sort, write the file back to the disk. These are the three steps we have. So in order to find out the total time taken for these three steps, what we will do is we'll just calculate the sum of the time taken for each step. Okay, so when we get the sum of time taken for each step, that will be the total time taken to sort the given things, given contents, right? So if we perform these operations parallelly, then time consumed will be reduced, right? If we can able to perform these three steps parallelly, obviously time taken will be reduced. So let us go for the heap sort now. What exactly it is? It is the overlapping process of input output. Okay, so most of the times when we use an internal sort, we have to wait until we have the whole file in the memory before we sort, right? So if we have an algorithm that will do sorting operation immediately after reading, that means without waiting for the whole file to be in the memory, then it will be beneficiary, right? So we have a concept called as heap sort, which is based on the principle of selection tree, whichever we have studied in the previous section, right? So in the selection sort, what we have done, when a new key arrives, it is compared with the others, and the smallest key is sent to the root of the tree. So when a new key is read from the memory, it starts its processing. That is, sorting occurs parallelly with the reading. So if it occurs parallelly with the reading, then obviously the time consuming will be less, right? So the drawback is each time a new small key is found, it is to be output to the file, right? So we cannot allow this to happen. If we want to sort the whole file, we cannot allow this to happen. So because we cannot begin outputting records until we know which comes first or which comes second and so on, right? So and we won't know this until we have seen all the keys. So heap sort, it solves this problem. What it will do, it is it will keep all the keys in a structure. We call it as a heap. So a heap, it is a binary tree, and it will be having some properties. So what are those properties? Each node has a single key, and that key is greater than or equal to the key at its parent node. It is completely binary tree, which means that all of its leaves are on no more than two levels, and all of the keys on the lowest level are in the leftmost position. So, because of properties at 1 and 2, storage for the tree can be allocated sequentially as an array in such a way that the indices of the left and right children of node I are 2i and 2i plus 1. That we need to remember, 2i and 2i plus 1. If your parent node is I, then the left and right indices will be 2i and 2i plus 1. So let us take an example for heap sort. So I will take this particular tree for sorting, and let me take an array. So this is the array I'm going to take, which which will have all these elements. So we have total 9 elements in our tree. So I'll allocate this space for that. So I will start the array index from 1, 7, 8 and 9. So now what I'm going to do is I will select the first element, that is nothing but the root element. So I'm going to give the value for root as I. Okay, so I will start from this particular element. Now this this element is nothing but 2i, and this is nothing but 2i plus 1. When I take I as a parent, then its children will be, left child will be 2i and right child will be 2i plus 1. So I will I am going to assign it to 1. That means I am going to allocate the node A in the position 1. I is equal to 1. So I is pointing to 1 now. Now which is 2i? 2i is nothing but 2 into 1, that is 2. So this is 2i and this is nothing but 2i plus 1 position, right? So 2i is nothing but 2 into 1, that is 2. So B will be allocated to position 2, and 2i plus 1 is nothing but 2 plus 1, that is 3. So C will be allocated to position 3, right? So this is what we are going to do. Now after this I am going to increment I value by 1. That means I am going to take this as I now. So this is done now. So we have allocated spaces for A, B, C. Now what I am going to do, I will, instead of this, I am going to increment I by 1. So this will be your I. Next I is pointing to 2. Okay. That means now I am going to increment the I value by 1. So this will be your I. Okay. This is your I. When this is your I, then which is 2i? This is 2i and this will be your 2i plus 1. That means, sorry, when this is I, this is your 2i, because I is 2 now. So 2 into 2, 2i is nothing but 2 into 2, that is 4. So 2i is pointing to 4 and 2i plus 1 will be pointing to 5. 2i plus 1. So you are going to include, this is 2i and this is 2i plus 1, right? So 2i is nothing but 2 into 2, 4. So in the fourth position I will include E, and in fifth position 2i plus 1 is nothing but 4 plus 1, 5. So in 5 I am going to allocate H. Again increment I by 1. So this is not your I now. What I am going to do? So increment I by 1. This is the I value. So when this is I value, I is equal to 3. So I is equal to 3. 2i will be 6 and 2i plus 1 will be 7, right? So when I is equal to 3, that means C, I is equal to 3. Okay. So when I is equal to 3, 2i will be I and 2i plus 1 will be D. So 2i is I and 2i plus 1 is D. Okay. So once again increment I by 1. So 4. So I is equal to 4 is this particular node. I is equal to 4. So 2i is G and 2i plus 1 is F, right? So 2i is nothing but 4 into 2, that is 8. So here you are going to insert a G, and 2i plus 1 is nothing but 8 plus 1, that is 9. So here you are going to include your F. Okay. So once again if you increment I value by 1, now I is equal to 5. 5 is nothing but this particular node. So I is equal to 5 because 5 carries h, right? So here there is no nodes connected, there is no leaf, there is no branches for h. So we can wind up here itself. Why? Because if there is no leaf node, then obviously you will not have any nodes after this. That is the rule of heap sort. So whenever you get a new entry, it will be added over to this, right? So that is the rule. That is why we can wind up saying there is no element, there is no more element. So this is your heap sorted array. So let us go for how we can build the heap while reading in the file. So I have these new keys F, D, C, G, H, I, V, E, A. All those are the new keys I have. Now what I am going to do is assume that you have new keys to be added to the heap and do heap sorting for the keys. So these are the keys you have. So now what I am going to do is I will be storing it in the uh, array. So I am taking, so total we have 9 different elements, so I will take 9 different slots for each element. So what I am going to do is, so the first element I am going to insert is f. So I will write here the selected heap in tree form. So let us build the tree and let us write the sorted element here. Now the new key entered is F. So in the first step what I am going to do is I will enter F. Okay. So there is no change. So directly I can put it in the position 1. Now the second key comes. Which is the second key? I have D, right? So what I am going to do is I will write D to the left of F, left branch of F. Now when you write like this, you can understand D is smaller than F. Alphabetically if we go, D is smaller than F. So when we write a tree structure, the parent node should be smaller than the children, right? So obviously this is wrong, we need to swap it. So we will get it as D and F. And now you read it from the root df. So that will be written over to your array d and f. Now in the third step we have c. So where I need to include c, we have df in our hand. Now we need to include c to the right of d. Okay. So when I do like this, C is less than D, so we need to swap it. How can I swap this? I can write it as C, F and D. Just swapping C and D. So I will, now I need to write it into the array. How can I read? C, F, D. So it will be read from root, left child and right child. Okay. So I need to write it as C, F and D. Now the new key is G. In the fourth step, we have new key as G. So where I need to include a G, so we have C, F, D in our hand. Now G should be the left child of F. Always, whichever new key arises, it will be kept to the left child of the node. Okay. So this is the leftmost node we have. The left child is empty. So put G into that. Now if I consider this, so there is no change because F is smaller than G, parent is smaller than the child. So that is why there is no change needs to be done. So I can directly read it as C, F, D and G. So I can write it as C, F, D and G. Now H comes where I need to include H here, right? So I will include H in as the right branch of F. So if I consider this, once again there is no change because F is smaller than H. I can directly write it as C, F, D, G, H. Okay, then comes I. So where I need to include I? To the left of D. So here you have I now. So when I do like this, once again check, D is smaller than I, so there is no change. I can directly write it as C of D, G, H and I. Okay, then comes B. So I will include B to this position, right? When this happens, you can see B is smaller than D. Now what I need to do? I need to swap it. So my tree will be like this. C, F, here I will get B, then G, H, I and D, right? Once again compare it with its parent. This is smaller than C. So again you need to change it. So I will get B, F, C swapped and G, H, I and D. Now read it from the root. B, F, C, G, H, I, D. That I need to write over here. I can write it as B, F, C, G, H, I, D. Okay. Now once again go for the next element, that is E. I will write it over here. So when I include E to my tree structure, what will happen? So here I need to include it, right? I need to include it over here. So when I include it over here, E is less than G, right? When E is less than G, you need to swap it. So I will write it over here. Okay, so you need to swap it. So how can I write the tree now? B, F, C, then instead of G I will write E, then here you have H, then here you have I and here you have D, here it is G, swapped. Once again compare E and F. E is less than F, so we need to swap it again. So your tree structure will be B, here you will get E, then C, here you will get F, and here H, G, then here you will get I and D. Now what is how can we read it? B, E, C, F, H, I, D, G. Layer by layer, level by level you need to read from left to right. So I can write it as B, then E, second level, E and C. Third level you have F, H, I, D, and in the fourth level you have G. Now comes A, the last element. So where I need to include A? I need to include A over here. So when A is included over here, it is smaller than F. We need to swap. So my tree structure will be B, E, C. Then here I will get A, then H, here I and D. Then here I will get G, and here I will get F. F and A got swapped. Again compare A and E. A is smaller. A will go instead of here you will get E and here you will get A. Again consider A and B. So A is smaller, so that will get swapped. So your tree will be A, here B, here you will get C, then you will get E and H, you will get I and D, then you will get G and F, right? So how can we read it? I can read it as A, B, C, then the next level E, H, I, D, next level G and F. So this is your heap. So this array is nothing but it is sorted using heap sort technique. So this is how you are going to build the heap while reading in the file. Now let us go for the algorithm for building the heap. So we have a new key as a parameter. Whatever new key has been entered, that will be taken as a parameter for heap. And we have a num element which will be assigned to 0 initially, num element. So, and we are going to have maximum elements, that is total number of elements whichever you want to include in the heap. And let us take an example: 10, 2, 15, 3, 20 and 1. This is the example I am going to take. I want to insert each one of these elements one by one. So initially what I am going to pass, I will pass the new element as 10. Okay, initially 10 will be passed over here. The num element will be 0 initially, it will be initialized to 0. Max element, say I have maximum elements as 7. Okay, I have max element value as 7. Now 0 is equal to 7, it is false, so it is going to it is not going to go inside this, so it will come to this particular position. Now num element plus plus, that means you are going to increment num element value by 1. So in the first iteration you are going to increment num element by 1, so your num element will be equal to 1 now. Now h of num element, so I am going to define a heap, say h heap array. So h of num element is 1. So h of 1 is nothing but your new key. New key is 10, so that 10 I am going to put it over to h of 1. Now k is equal to num element. I will select k. So k is equal to num element, that is it, the num element value is 1. So k is equal to 1. Now you check whether k is greater than 1. No, the condition is false. It will come here and it will return true. That is nothing but you have now one element in your heap. So 10, where exactly in which position it is stored, that will be returned back to the function. Now again in this, again what I am going to do, I am going to insert the next new element, that is 2. Right? So 2 will be inserted over to this. Okay. So when you insert 2, what will happen? Again it will check num element. Now num element value we have it as 1. So 1 is equal to 7 for no. So it will come over to this. It will not go to this. It will come over to this. So num element plus plus. Now your num element is nothing but 2. H of num element, that is h of 2, I am going to write h of 1 was filled with the 10. Now h of 2 is nothing but your new key we have sent it as 2. So h of 1 and h of 2. Now h of 2 is 2. Now k is equal to num element, so k is equal to 2 now. Right? So k is equal to 2. Whether k is greater than 1, so 2 is greater than 1, condition is true. So it will come here, it will make parent p is equal to k by 2. So now you will get p is equal to 2 by 2, that is 1. Now compare k and p. That is nothing but you are going to compare the value of k and p. Now what you are going to do is, now we have done k is equal to 2, then k is greater than 1 is true. So we have done p is equal to k by 2, 2 by 2, that is 1. Okay. Now if compare k comma p. So what you are going to do, compare k. K is nothing but 2 and p is nothing but 1. So compare the position 2 and 1. So in the 2 you have 2 and in 1 you have 10. So what you are going to do, you are going to compare. In the position 2 you have 2 and in the position 1 you have 10. So 2 and 10 you are going to compare whether it is greater than or equal to 0. So when you do like this, it will do 2 minus 10. That is nothing but minus 8. Whether it is greater than or equal to 0, false. Right? So what it will do, it will not break the thing. It will directly come to this. Exchange k and p. Now you are going to exchange 2 and 10. So you will get 10 and 2. Right? So the meaning is you are going to exchange k and p, that is you are going to exchange k is nothing but in k you will be having 2 and in p you will be having 10 initially. So you are going to exchange those two. So your array will be like this now, 2 and 10. So why this step is needed? Because always the parent should be smaller than the child. Okay. So when we are comparing it, it is finding the difference. That means if the difference is a negative value, then obviously it is smaller than the parent is smaller than the child. But if it is not, if it is if it is a positive value, obviously parent is smaller than child. But if it is a negative value like this, then we can tell that the parent here uh, it was 10 and the child here was 2, right? P is nothing but parent. You think that P is parent and child is K. Okay, so parent is greater than child now. So when that happens, you need to exchange so that parent will be smaller than the child. So you will get now 2 and 10 in heap. Then after that make k is equal to p. Now your k is nothing but 1. Okay, p is equal to 1, right? So k will be equal to 1. So once again go back to your while loop. Whether k is greater than 1, false. So it will come here and it will return true. So this is your heap now after the second step. Okay. Now again let us go for the third element, that is 15. Now we are going to pass 15. So what will happen? New key is 15. So num element is equal to maximum element. Num element now it has become 2. So whether it is equal to 7? No. So it will increment the value. Now your num element is equal to 3. Okay. So h of 3. Now your h was like this, 2 and 10. This is 1 2 and 1 2 and 3. Now what you are going to do, h of 3 is equal to new key. H of 3 you are going to put the new key. Okay. Now when you are doing like this, again you are making k is equal to num element. Now k is nothing but 3 and compare while k is greater than 1. Whether 3 is greater than 1, it is true. So p is equal to k by 2. So p is equal to 3 by 2, that is 1 point something. I will select it as 1 itself, right? So 3 by 2, 1 point something. So I will take it as 1 itself. Now compare k and p. Now compare k is nothing but 3 and p is nothing but 1. So in the third position you have 15 and in the first position you have 2. So compare 15 and 2. So 15 minus 2, that is nothing but 13. So whether it is greater than or equal to 0, it is true. Now it is true, you break. That means come out of the while loop and return true. So that means no need of exchanging the thing. So obviously this child is bigger than the parent. Parent is 2, right? So this child is bigger than the parent. So no need of exchanging it. Now let us say I will send 3. The next key is 3. Now what will happen? Num element is been given as 3, right? So 3 is equal to max file? No. So increment num element by 1. So I will have num element as 4 now. Then h of 4 is equal to new key. So h of 4, you are going to put the new key, new key is 3. So h of 4, you are going to put the 3. Then k is equal to num element, so your k will be equal to 4. Then while k is greater than 1, yes, true. So p is equal to k by 2, so it is 2 now. Your parent is 2 now. Now compare k and p. So you are going to compare 4 and 2. So in the fourth position you have 3, and in the second position you have 10. So 3 minus 10, that is nothing but minus 7. Whether it is greater than or equal to 0, false, right? When it is false, it will not break, it will come to exchange. So exchange k and p. Now k is 4 and p is 2. Now what will happen? You will get k is equal to 2 and p is equal to I mean not exchanging this, exchanging the value of k and p. So in the fourth position you had 3, and in the second position you had 10. So what I am going to do, I will exchange these two. So here you will get 10, here you will get 3. Okay, so your heap will be now 2, 10. I mean, instead of 10 we are going to write it as 3, then 15 and 10. This is your heap. Okay, and now what will happen after this? K is equal to p. Now k is equal to 2. Okay, so when you have k is equal to 2, again it will come here and it will ask whether k is greater than 1. Yes, so again it will find out p for this. P is equal to 2 by 2, that is 1, right? K is equal to 2, p is equal to 1 now. Again compare it. So compare k and p. Is k is pointing to 2 and p is pointing to 1. So compare these two now. So what will happen? This is p and this is k. So compare k and p. 3 minus 2, that is equal to 1. Whether it is greater than or equal to 0, it is true. So no need of exchanging it. Directly break and come out return true. So this will be your heap after that. So this is what we have done in the logic itself. In the logic, what we have done is, whenever you have a child which is greater than the parent, then you swap it. If you get the child which is smaller than the parent, no need of swapping. The same thing we are going to do here. Compare the child k with the parent. If the parent is greater, then you need to swap. If the parent is smaller, then just come out of this. So this is how we can build the key when the new key has been entered. So what exactly happened now? 1 has been sent to the file. 1 is not there now. So initially there was a 1 here in the h of h array. So 1 has been sent to the file, and now 1 is not there. Your h array starts from 2. Okay, so next, in the next iteration, what will happen? Value will be value whichever you have returned was 1. So in the next iteration, value we are going to take it as h of 1. Now h of 1 is nothing but 2, so value whichever you are going to return is nothing but 2. Okay, so after that, what you are going to do? H of 1, in the h of 1th place, you are going to copy h of num element. So here your array will be, it was 2 here, and h of 1th place, h of new num element I am going to copy. H of num element is nothing but 20. So 20 will be copied over to this. Then rest everything is same, 10 and 20. And then what we are going to do? We are going to decrement num element by 1. So your num element will be now 4. Your num element is 4. That means this is not there. 20 I have copied over to the root position. Okay, so when I copy it over to the root position, after that what I need to do? I need to compare. I will make k is equal to 1. So this is pointing to k now. Now 2k is less than number of element. What is 2k? This is 2k. 2 into 1, that is 2. So 2k is pointing to this. Whether 2k is less than num element, that is 2 is less than 4. Yes, 2 is obviously less than 4. So where it will go? It will go to comparison. Compare 2k, that is 2, comma 2k plus 1, that is 3. So 2 and 3 will be getting compared. So 3 and 15 is getting compared. What is 3 minus 15? That is some negative value, minus 12. So whether it is less than 0? Yes, it is true. So what you need to do? You need to do new k is equal to 2k. So new k now, that is nothing but 2 into k is 1, so 2. So this will be your new k. This will be new k, right? So new k is equal to 2 now. Then it will not go to the else part, it will go to the if. Compare k and new k now. What is k? K is pointing to 1 and new k is pointing to 2. Right? Compare 1 and 2, 20 and 3. So 20 and 3 when you compare, you will get 20 minus 3, that is nothing but 17. Whether it is less than 0? No. So don't break, exchange k and new k. So what you need to do now? Exchange k and new k. So here instead of 3 you will get 20, and instead of 20 you will get 3. So you have exchanged it. Then make k is equal to new k. That is nothing but k value is equal to new k. So you are going to make k is equal to new k is 2. So k is equal to 2. So your k will be pointing to this now. Again compare 2k. What is 2k? 2 into 4. So I mean 2 into 2, that is 4. Whether 4 is less than 4? No. Comparison is false. So you need to return the value. So what value you are going to return? You are going to return the value whichever you have stored here, that is 2. So 2 will be written back, that is in the file. If I take this as file, initially 1 has been returned, then 2 has been returned. In the next iteration, what will happen? You are going to take the next particular value, h of 1. This is your new h of 1 now. So I will write the array as 3, 20, 15 and 10. Only 4 elements are there now. number of element is 4, then h of 1 is nothing but 3. So 3 will be returned, right? So 3 will be returned back to the file, and here the same procedure will be taking place. So the fourth, this element will be copied over to this, so your array will become now 10, 20, 15, right? Only 3 elements, so one element will be reduced, so 1 to 3, this is your array. Now you need to compare it with the uh, you need to compare it with its children. This will be your k, and you compare it with the children. So what will happen? Comparison. This is smallest element itself. So while 2k is less than num elements. So what is 2k? 2 into 1, that is 2. Whether 2k, this is 2k. So whether it is less than num element, yes. So 2 is less than 3, true. So it is going to compare 2k and 2k plus 1. So 20 and 15 gets compared. 20 minus 15, that is 5. Whether it is less than 0, no. So what will happen? It will go to else part. New k is equal to 2k plus 1. So now your new k is nothing but uh, 2 plus 1, that is 3. So new k is equal to 3 now. Now compare k and new k. So k is nothing but 1. So 1 and 3 you are going to compare. So 1 and 3 when you are comparing, so position 1 is having 10 and position 3 is having 15. 10 minus 15, that is minus 5. Whether it is less than 0, minus 5 is less than 0, true. So break. So you are not going to exchange, you are just breaking, coming out from the while loop and returning the value. What value you are returning? The value whichever you have stored over here, that was 3. 3 will be written back, not 3, that was 10. So 10 will be written back to your file. So your file will have the next element 10. You have not exchanged it. So this is how the algorithm for removing from the heap. So next you have sorting while writing out to the file. So that is nothing but deleting the element from the heap. Okay. So while writing, the smallest element should be written first. So smallest element, that will be in the root position. That is, if it should be deleted from the heap, and that heap should be rearranged, right? So deletion, it always occurs at the root of the heap. Now what is the algorithm for this? We need to start from I is equal to 1 to record count. Now output the record in the first position in the array. This record will be the smallest key. It has the smallest key. Move the key in the last position in the array. We call it as k, to the first position. Whatever is there in the last position, last leaf node, that will be copied over to the first position. And define the heap as having one fewer member, that is number of elements should be reduced by 1. Now while k is larger than both keys of its children, if the k is larger than both the keys, then exchange k with the smaller of its two children. Okay, so let me take an example for this. So this is the heap whichever we have, and I want to store this to the file. I want to write it into the file. So the first thing I will write is the root element, that is 1. Okay, I will write 1 to the file. Now what I need to do, I need to remove it from the heap. When I write it into the file, I will remove it from the heap, and I will see which is the biggest element. So here the last element you have is 15. So 15 I am going to copy over to this. Okay, so when I copy that, my tree will be like this: 10, 20, right? So I have to reduce one element, number of element by 1. So decrement number of element by 1. Now you compare the parent 15 and the children 3 and 2. Now what will happen? 15 is greater than 3 and 2. It is greater than both of its children. So I will check now which is the smallest children, whether 3 is small or 2 is small. Now 2 is the smallest one, so I will swap 15 with the 2. So my next tree will be like this: 2, 3, 15, then 10 and 20. This is my new tree. Next, now again I want to write the element into the file. So the next root element, that is 2, will be written over to the file. When I return 2 onto the file, we need to remove this from the heap. When you remove this, what you need to do, you need to select the largest element. Here it is, the last element of this tree is 20. That will be swapped with the root element. So your tree will be like this now: 20, then you have 3, then you have 15, and then you have 10. One number of element will be reduced, num element will be decremented by 1. Now again compare it with the two children. So it is having 3 and 15, so it is bigger than both of its children. So let me check which child is small, 3 or 15. Now 3 is small, so what I am going to do, I will swap 3 and 20. So here I will get 3, 20, 15 and 10. Now the next element which needs to be copied over to the file is 3. So 3 will be copied over to file, and that will be removed from the heap. Then the biggest element you have is, the last element you have is 10. So 10 will be copied over to the position of root. So you will get 10, 20, 15. Now it is comparing, 10 will be compared with the 20 and 15. It is smaller. So when the parent is smaller than that, no need of exchanging it. It will be kept as it is. Now again the next element needs to be copied is 10. That will be copied, removed from the heap. Then which one? So 15 will be replaced by 20. That is the last element you have. So 15 will be replaced to the root position. Now compare 15 and 20. There is no change because 15 is smaller than 20. So I can in the next iteration I can copy 15 over to the file. So 15 is removed, then 20 will come to its place. So only one node is left, that will be copied over to the file. So this is how we are going to copy over to the file. So heap sort. Now after using the heap, you are going to get this element in the sorted order. Okay, so what is the algorithm for removing from the heap? That is the logic whatever I have explained. Now let me see the let us check the algorithm of the particular heap. Now let us take the same elements whichever we have taken initially in the previous example. I will take 1, 3, 2, 10, 20 and 15. This is what we have done. This is the array of heap. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 elements. Okay. Now what I am going to do, for value val, the variable val, I am going to put h of 1. H, this is nothing but h. So h of 1 is nothing but 1. So that I am going to put for val. Val is equal to 1. Now h of 1 is equal to h of number of elements. So what is number of elements? You have 6 as the number of element. Now h of 1, I am going to put h of num element is 6. So h of 6 has been copied over to h of 1. So here what will happen? Your heap, here you will get 15. So h of 6 is nothing but 15. That will be copied over to h of 1. So in h of 1th place you will get 15. Okay. Now what will happen? K is equal to 1. Then you are going to reduce the number of element by 1. So number of elements, now it will become, it was 6, so it will become 5. Okay. Now k is equal to 1. Now what you are going to do? 2 into k. So 2k is 2. Whether it is less than 5? Yes, it is true. Now compare 2k. 2k is 2 itself, and 2k plus 1, that is 3. Whether it is less than 0? So value of position 2. Value of position 2 is 3. Value of position 3 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Whether it is less than 0? No, it is false. So it will not come inside this. It will go to the else part. So else new k is equal to 2k plus 1. So your new k value is nothing but 2 into k is nothing but 1. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. So new k is 3 now. Now compare k and new k. So 1 and 3. So in the first position you have 15, and new k is nothing but 3. In the third position you have 2. So 15 minus 2, that is nothing but 13. Whether 13 is less than 0? No. So don't break. You will come to the exchange part. Now exchange k and new k. So exchange k and new k. So k is pointing to 1, right? K was pointing to 1. New k was pointing to 3. So exchange these two. Your h will be like this: 2, 3, 15, 10, 20. Now 1 new k has been reduced by 1, so you will be having only these values, 5 different values. Okay, we are just eliminating 15. We are just eliminating the last position. You will be having only 5 different positions. Okay, now what exactly has happened now? And after this, k is equal to new k. So what will happen? K is equal to new k, so your k value is nothing but 3 now. So k will be pointing to this. Once again it will go back to this. uh, K is equal to 2 into k, that is nothing but 2 into 3. You will have 6. Whether 6 is less than 5? No. So it will wind up returning the value back.